Here at the Co-op Bros, we're usually about co-op games that demand some serious teamwork, strategy, and communication. We're talking Baldur's Gate 3 levels of planning, not moving out 2 levels of screaming, though let's be real, sometimes that's fun too.
Shut up! Shut up!
But even the most strategic minds need a break. Sometimes you just gotta embrace your inner ape and bonk some digital heads. If that sounds like you right now, and let's be honest, who isn't there at this point, then boy do we have the game for you. Big Helmet Heroes is far from perfect, but if you're looking for some mindless fun with a friend, it'll get the job done.
Oh, it's big boy time.
It's big boy time.
Slow motion.
It's big boy slow motion.
That was awesome.
Let's kick things off with how easy it is to jump into co-op in Big Helmet Heroes. The game keeps things refreshingly simple. It supports 2-player local co-op, and adding a second player is as easy as selecting a hero at the character screen after choosing a level. Both players have equal agency in this game and can play as any hero, so there's no distinction between player 1 or player 2. We played this via Steam Remote Play, and while our experience was mostly smooth, your mileage may vary. The game doesn't currently support online play, so at least remote play is an option. Performance-wise, it ran well overall, with only one crash during one of our sessions. And lastly, crossplay isn't supported at this time. With all that covered, let's dive into the gameplay loop and what you can expect of Big Helmet Heroes.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, dang. Oh, no way.
Okay, yeah, no, this guy's
That's
OP.
sick. That's sick.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang, it lasts too.
Yeah, jeez, you still got it going on.
Yeah,
Lasted a long time.
this guy's pretty good. He's definitely the best rogue so far.
Big Helmet Heroes is a classic beat 'em up dressed in a seriously nice coat of paint. Yes, it's giving off major Castle Crasher vibes, and that's a totally fair comparison. You'll hack and slash your way through levels, facing waves of enemies until you reach the end. Sometimes there's a camera shift, a fun little gimmick, or a boss thrown in for good measure, but for the most part, it's a meat and potatoes beat 'em up with light and heavy attacks you can string together into combos. The whole shebang clocks in around 6 hours, but with multiple difficulty levels and a bunch of heroes to go back and unlock, there's definitely some replayability that could add an hour or two to your playtime. Speaking of heroes, let's dive into that a little bit more. There are 24 of them total, split into 4 weapon classes: sword and shield, quick daggers, big bonk heavy weapons, and combo crazy pole arms. Your chosen class dictates your basic moveset, giving you a different feel for light and heavy attacks. They're just barely different enough to actually matter, but that's not all they're differentiating with. Each hero also has their own super move that charges up as you dish out damage. These range from summoning a stampede of alligators, yes, that's really happening, to unleashing a dark energy beam you can direct at your foes. Some heroes are easy to find, while others require a bit more searching. During a level, you can also snag weapons from other classes, but with added elemental effects like lightning or fire damage. Plus, there are bombs to toss and guns to fire, which helps keep the combat fresh and mixes things up just a little bit. So that's Big Helmet Heroes in a nutshell. It's a pretty straightforward beat 'em up, but the weapon classes offer just enough variety to keep things interesting, but I'll let Gabe go into more detail there.
Bubble mode. Oh,
dude,
what?
wait.
It's so cool. I love it.
Wait, that one's actually really
Like,
cool.
bubbles them up into oblivion.
That's awesome.
Big Helmet Heroes is a lot of silly, mindless fun, but that doesn't mean it isn't engaging, especially in co-op. With 24 heroes to choose from, we were constantly switching things up and chaining our supers together, like turning enemies to sand with Sandstorm, only to have Multi-Spectre Shadow Clones finish them off, or stopping time with Chronos, while Giant stomped around in slow motion, one of my favorite combos. It's not exactly strategic, but saving up supers for big moments like unleashing them on a boss was still a blast. That said, we do wish there was more variety in the supers, but I'll let Andrew tackle that in a bit. Having a second player is a big help against endless enemy waves, but the real advantage of co-op comes in hunting down the various hidden heroes. Some are simply tucked away off screen, requiring a sharp eye, others demand tricky platforming. My favorites though were only earned after completing a small puzzle, like tracking down all the hidden pumpkins in a level. They definitely make you work for these, so having another pair of eyes really helps. Even then, we didn't find them all, but as you can see in this clip, we were very committed.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, yes,
my
bro.
God.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
I did it.
Nice.
I'm a hero.
Oh, no way, bro.
At the end of the day, Big Helmet Heroes is just pure co-op fun. One level has you launching cannons, the next you're in a soccer minigame. Competing for the highest combo streak or most kills at the end of a run also adds a nice bit of friendly rivalry. It's often chaotic, sometimes too chaotic, but it delivers on what it sets out to do. That said, there are a few things we wish it did better, so let's talk about those now.
And multi-spectre with the goal.
They're saying he's the new Messi.
He's a real bundle of energy, that one.
We can't quite give Big Helmet Heroes a glowing recommendation. Let's be clear, it's great for some mindless fun, but you've definitely got to be in the right mood. For the first half of our playthrough, Gabe and I were hooked on unlocking new heroes. It was like a carrot on a stick. But once we realized that they were mostly just reskins with different supers, the excitement started to fade, especially since some of those supers felt way too similar. I mean, I mentioned the alligator stampede, but then there's also a sheep stampede and a giant fish that runs across the screen, and you're starting to see where I'm going with this. Don't get me wrong, discovering new supers was still fun right up until the end, but even they started to lose their luster. The other big issue is the camera. It can be a total chaos-causing monster. There were times when it completely blocked our view or just didn't show all the enemies on the screen, which is a major problem in a beat 'em up. The game is all about chaos, I get that, but occasionally it crossed the line from fun to frustrating. For example, those extra weapons like the guns you can pick up, they were tempting, but the permanent friendly fire on projectiles made them hard to justify. Seriously, sometimes it felt like they had a homing beacon for your teammate. I'd grab one towards the end of our experience to shake things up and stave off the fatigue, but usually it was at Gabe's expense. So yeah, the chaos is kind of a double-edged sword. That's why we keep saying it's mindless fun. It is, but you gotta know what you're getting into. So, with that in mind, I'll hand it back to Gabe so he can wrap things up and touch on a few non-co-op related points.
With so many games dropping this quarter, we almost overlooked Big Helmet Heroes if it wasn't for its vibrant visuals and cartoony art direction that immediately caught our attention. From dynamic lighting and smooth animations to fun details like the cheering crowd that appears when you rack up a combo, the game's presentation is a big highlight. The opening cinematic is a great showcase of that, and it hints at a story, but as we played, we realized there isn't much of one here. That's totally fine, not every game needs a narrative, but a stronger through line between levels would have been nice. One moment you're in a desert and the next you're on a pirate ship, and it can feel a little bit random. Did it hurt the fun? Not at all, and if you're playing with a 6-year-old, they're not gonna care either. At its core, Big Helmet Heroes is an easygoing casual co-op experience. Whether you're playing with a friend or your younger cousin, bonking heads and unlocking heroes is time well spent.
Okay friends, hopefully we made our point clear on whether Big Helmet Heroes is for you and your best friends. If we did, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more co-op content. We have got a really busy next month with the release of several major co-op titles. Looking at you, Monster Hunter Wilds and Split Fiction. Why did we have to be less than a week apart? Seriously? So yeah, there's plenty to look forward to. Join us for the ride or go the extra mile and join our Patreon community. Shout out to them for supporting our two-man team, but either way, we'll catch you next time on the next episode of the Co-op Bros.